All right, here we are, week 8, and we've got a song to show for it. There isn't really anything I want to say before you hear it, so let's just dive right in. Here it is, song 8 with a bullet, Chain of Tragedies.
When you go out, I worry every time. Where will you draw the line? When I look at you, still see the child I knew. It's always on my mind. You need to blame somebody to channel your rage. Maybe start acting your age. Life's a chain of tragedies, packaged with false guarantees. You can't choose your enemies, but you can choose your friends. What happened in that alley scarred you for life. You don't owe anyone anything. When you come home, you're never really done. You've only just begun. When I disagree, don't take that tone with me. I'm not your man or son. Out of the frying pan and into the fire. Maybe it's time to retire. Life's a chain of tragedies, packaged with false guarantees. You can't choose your enemies, but you can choose your friends. What happened in that alley scarred you for life. You don't owe anyone anything. Did you know you amaze me? I don't say that enough. People think that you're crazy, but I just think you've had it rough. Life's a chain of tragedies, packaged with false guarantees. You can't choose your enemies, but you can choose your friends. What happened in that alley scarred you for life. You don't owe anyone anything.
So I thought maybe I'd talk a little bit this week about my process, and in particular when my process goes awry. Um, this song had a bit of a journey to get to where it ended up. Originally, I started messing around with these chords and a bit of the melody. I started thinking about a road trip I took with some friends, like an impromptu road trip when I was around 23 years old. And I, gave that some thought and tried to see if I could put something on paper around that, and nothing really came out. And then my mind sort of wandered to the notion of holding on to those kinds of memories of being a little reckless and memories of being irresponsible, those kinds of things that I've done in years past, and kind of recontextualizing them all with my modern brain. But nothing really came out of that either. So I started to think about a song where I was explaining to someone, possibly explaining to myself, that those kinds of memories and those kinds of experiences are important. All those memories, all those experiences shape who we are. But nothing was really there either. And so I eventually landed on the place that I did land on, which I don't really want to explain in detail what it's about. The attempt of this song is to live sort of at two narrative layers. One is the layer that you would hear just as sort of a casual listener, without any context, without knowing. And on that level, there's a sort of simple narrative, somebody speaking to somebody else and explaining, and explaining a couple different themes about what they go through emotionally, just to be supportive of that person, and also how they feel about that person is how they're living their life, and how it's affecting them, and um, you know, even a little bit of advice about, well, maybe it's time you move up and move on from some of these things. And these are things that I think a lot of people can relate to, so they're just sort of very generalized for the purpose of the song. But the song is actually about something fairly specific. It is from a specific person's perspective and how they feel about another specific person. And I think there are enough clues in the song that, in addition to that passive layer of a narrative, there's an active layer of a narrative that if you do sleuth out, then that narrative can take on extra meaning. And can the song be enjoyable for somebody who doesn't know the details, and can it also be enjoyable for somebody who does? And that's what I'm kind of trying to do with this song. Yeah, so let's go through it. The first verse starts with, "When you go out, I worry every time. Where will you draw the line? When I look at you, still see the child I knew. It's always on my mind." And then into the pre-chorus, "You need to blame somebody to channel your rage. Maybe start acting your age." And the chorus, "Life's a chain of tragedies, packaged with false guarantees. You can't choose your enemies, but you can choose your friends. What happened in that alley scarred you for life, and you don't owe anyone anything." And then we've got a second verse, "When you come home, you're never really done. You've only just begun. When I disagree, don't take that tone with me. I mind your manners, son." And then, "Out of the frying pan and into the fire. Maybe it's time to retire." And then another chorus, and then we have a bridge. "Did you know you amaze me? I don't say that enough. People think you're crazy, but I just think you've had it rough." And then another final chorus. And that's it. It's a pretty simple, straightforward song. It was a little bit of an uphill battle figuring out the theme that I wanted to talk about, and then pulling that together. Some of the lyrics, in particular the chorus, I really struggled with. Anyway, I think that'll do it for this week. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time.